Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Welcome to the experience. Tonight, we're going to be covering just a little bit of Eagles talk. To you know, 2 days from now is the NFL draft. We are super excited to be covering that. If you haven't already, go follow us on YouTube, Sports Lounge Media. Sports Lounge Media. It'll be this symbol right here on the shirt. Guys, we're going to be doing live coverage for the NFL draft. Really exciting. It's going to be good banter, a lot of good laughs, and you guys are missing out if you don't come join us. So we're going to get right into it tonight. Like I said, tonight we're going to be covering some Eagles talk, just kind of rumors that have hit the trades. Right. Obviously, a lot of people know the rumor of AJ Brown getting traded. This is nothing new to us Eagles fans. But who would they take in the draft? How can they really ace this draft? How can Howie Roseman pull another class and pull it all together in a really equal, just another masterpiece for Howie? So we're going to get right into it, right? Okay. So 2025 is going to be a little different than most recent years, right? We have to realize that if week one were tomorrow, the Eagles would snap the ball with a third rounder at right guard, Tyler Steen, which could be okay considering he's under Jeff Stoutland. And then you have would it be another 2023 third rounder in Sidney Brown, who is a little worrisome, right? I feel like he has some play in him. I feel like he has some gas in the tank, and very young guy, hard hitting, but I would feel much safer with another option. Then we get into the fourth rounder from the same year, 2023, Kelly Ringo. A lot of people are weary of Kelly Ringo, and it's understandable. He has had shaky appearances in his first two seasons, but I feel like he's grown as a player since Vic Fangio, and I think he's a good depth piece at this point. But I feel like he's in the battle. He's in the battle to see some good playing time this year. But again, if we start the season tomorrow, that's not really ideal. That's not ideal for the Super Bowl contenders, the Super Bowl champions, right? The reigning champions. That's just not ideal. It's not that any individual is just bad, but again, the defending champions have to collectively rely on a lot of youth following the free agent class that all left: Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, right? These are big guys that were a big part of that defense. That now we have to look and say, well, these young guys, they really have to step up. One person in particular, Jalix Hunt, right? Jalix Hunt, 2024 third rounder. Would likely go from playing 50 to 75% of the snaps, losing Brandon Graham, losing Josh Sweat. I think Moro Ojimo, another young player who was excellent in his position behind Milton Williams. I think he will have a bigger role next to Jalen Carter. These are places that are already in place, guys. These are pieces that are already in place. Pending a Dallas Goedert trade, I would say that our most glaring needs would be defensive end and safety. Those are the pieces that have really were traded or left last off season. We have to now replenish those. We have to replace those with either youth, or we're going to have to replace them with a veteran player. It just is what it is. I do like Walter Nolan. I like Walter Nolan a lot. I think he's a little bit high for me wanting to reach. I don't feel like a Dallas Goedert trade really moves us up to where Walter Nolan would be. Now, however, if Walter Nolan is like a Jalen Carter, if he's like a Nolan Smith, a Nakobe Dean, one of these players that just keeps falling, I could see it. But I do like Walter Nolan to fill that. And, if not, I kind of like, maybe some second round talent, late first round talent, which would have been Kenneth Grant, Tyleik Williams out of Ohio State. And I also like Donovan Escaro, right? So these are more of a. I would rather go with the defensive line. I would rather go the youth side. I would rather build up. Jalen Carter's young. Ojimo is young. Jalix Hunt. We have Nolan Smith. We have youth on the defensive line. Keep it that way. These guys have proven last year that they can step up when needed. They did have a little veteran presence, as in Brandon Graham, but that was really about it, veteran-wise, guys. I mean, Josh Sweat, I wouldn't consider a veteran, and Milton Williams definitely wasn't a veteran because he just got off his rookie contract. So, I would stay the youthful side of things, and I think that will help bolster the Super Bowl consistency. Now, on day two, I could see them taking safety day one as well, but I feel like the safety position is more, I don't want to say deeper because it's not, but I want to say in the third and fourth round is more deeper at that point. The defensive line, you're going to find all your depth is going to go first round and second round. Top talent's going to go the first two rounds. Third and fourth round, you're going to start seeing a Jalen Reed. You're going to start seeing a Jonas Shanker, a Billy Bowman out of Oklahoma. You're going to see these guys that could fit very well into this defense. And so I kind of feel like at day two, right, the focus should be right guard and safety. Okay. Now, we'd have one of the best offensive line coaches in the NFL. There's no debate about that. You can debate the wall on that. Jeff Stoutland is one of the best coordinators in the NFL. He can take a mid-round talent and turn them into what is a Pro Bowler. Cam Jurgens was a second-round talent. Landon Dickerson was a second-round talent. Jordan Mailata didn't even know how to play football properly when we drafted him in the sixth or seventh. Jeff Stoutland is best at his job. It is what it is. So when I see him take a mid-round, when we take these offensive linemen in the mid-rounds, I have no concern because he will get them right at the end of the day. If he gets his hands on a Dylan Fairchild out of Georgia or a Jalen Rivers out of Miami, guys, watch out. I mean, these are guys that have that top talent on the interior. The interior offensive line isn't as deep this year. But when you get in the third and fourth round, you're still getting that talent. It just has to be translated to the NFL. Jeff Stoutland can do that. Again, so some of the safeties that I would be eyeing would be Xavier Watts, maybe in the second round. I'm a Notre Dame guy. I like Xavier Watts. He's a ball hawk, hard hitter. I could see him being, he's a little bit bigger than C.J. Gardner-Johnson, but I feel like he could bring some of that energy back. A lot of energy on the Notre Dame field. But in my opinion, on the safety, if they don't grab Malachi Starks, they will be very patient when it comes to the safety position. I feel like you will see like a Jalen Reed out of Penn State, third or fourth round, a Billy Bowman Jr. out of Oklahoma, third or fourth round. I feel like they'll be a little bit more patient in their safety if they don't take Malachi Starks. The Eagles can't plug overall, guys. The Eagles can't plug every gap. Okay, with early drafted rookies, they just can't. If it was a perfect world, we would all just take first and second rounders and just call it good, right? No, we there's 7 rounds in this draft, and sometimes you just don't get the best of the best. It is what it is. But what the Philadelphia Eagles have been good at doing is drafting that talent and developing it. Most of our defense last year, our Super Bowl defense we have one of the youngest defenses in the NFL, guys. All these guys were drafted recently. Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. Reed Blankenship, still young. He's still under 20. He's like 25. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, the only reason they traded him was to save cap and because he was a veteran. They wanted to get younger. I think it's a win for us, this draft class, if 2 things happen. 2 things. That's all I'm looking for. Okay. We need pass rush support. I want to maintain this rotation of defensive line. Okay. Keep these guys fresh. Keep them off the field. Besides, if your name is not Jalen Carter. But again, these guys have to be rotated out. Save the injuries, save the gas, so that way we can go 4 quarters. Okay. And then we just need a new starter in the secondary. And I mean starter. Day one, come in, immediate impact. Whether that is Malachi Starks, whether that is second or a third round talent, I need an immediate day one where I know that we are solidified. Now, what I also could see them doing is taking a fourth or fifth round talent and bringing in somebody like Justin Simmons for Vic Fangio's defense. Justin Simmons is still a free agent. He has not signed anywhere. That is like Vic Fangio's little son. He's been on so much Vic Fangio defense, he would fit in immediately just because of the scheme. I could see that move. Like on a 1-2 year deal, get a cheap deal. I mean, I think he played in Atlanta last year, if I'm not mistaken. So, that draft wise, that's how I see the Eagles. Okay. Again, guys, just so we're going to touch on this a few times. Thursday night, right when the draft starts, go to YouTube. Follow the Sports Lounge Media. We're going to be doing the draft live, guys. Good banter, good laughs. It's going to be a good time. And if you're not there, you're missing out. So go check us out on YouTube, Sports Lounge Media. And again, we're going to be doing the draft live, the first round at least. And, again, good banter, good laughs. It's going to be a good time. So now let's talk a little bit about the A.J. Brown news, right? So there's a rumor going around that A.J. Brown could be traded for the 4th pick to New England. Okay. New England would be very interested, and I'm not. This is me, not as an Eagles fan. This is me as an unbiased and analyst. Okay. The Patriots would obviously be interested. You give Drake May, A.J. Brown, and Stephon Diggs, right? And then in the slot, you have your pick of Kendrick Bourne, Demario Douglas. I mean, it's pretty decent at that point. Obviously, the Patriots side's not the worry. If A.J. Brown comes off the Eagles, now, and this is where I'm going to look at pros and cons of this situation, okay? Because A.J. Brown comes off the Eagles, yes, they look entirely different. Almost scary different. We then rely on Jalen and Saquon just a little bit more. As an Eagles fan and as a football fan, I would be confident that Devontae Smith could take wide receiver 1 duties. And again, I believe in the kid. Okay. Now, A.J. Brown, he does help that a lot. He lets Devontae get open because AJ is a focal point in the offense, right? That's not a hidden secret. But I feel like Devontae Smith in a 60-40 run offense, right? I don't want to say we're run all the time because we're not. When we need to pass, we know how to pass. Hence the Super Bowl. But in a run first offense 60% of the time, I feel like Devontae Smith could fill that void. Now, if you go that route, then there's a glaring need at wide receiver. Could be attempted to fix in the draft. Could be obviously I don't know. There's I think wide receivers on free agents are like Amari Cooper. There's a few players that are still out there, but nobody that I'm really willing to put in A.J. Brown's shoes. So the epitome of this is what the Eagles would get out of this with trading A.J. Brown would be probably a slew of picks, including that 4th overall pick. Now, the only way I see this trade happening is if Abdul Carter falls to number 4. The other 3 prospects, guys, we're not interested in. I could see us interested in Mason Graham. Mason Graham and Jalen Carter would be a nasty fit. But I think the ultimate guy, the guy that's already come out and said that he wants to be in Philadelphia, he dreams to be in Philadelphia, Abdul Carter. I feel like this is the only scenario to where the Eagles do this. This is the only scenario that I am okay with as an Eagles fan. Would be to get Abdul Carter. I mean, we could create some nicknames for the Carter twins, but good God. Abdul Carter, if he lives up to the hype, him and Jalen Carter would devastate quarterbacks. Absolute devastation. It wouldn't be fair. The other side would be Nolan Smith would have single coverage or single assignment every dime. Whoever's playing the interior, Hunt, Ojimo, could have one-on-ones every time because they're either going to have to double Abdul Carter or Jalen Carter. And that means that one of the Carters is also going to be one-on-one because you can't double both. It's quite scary. So this is the only scenario that I am logically being able to help wrap my head around, right? But again, it would cost a lot. Okay, I'm not going to trade AJ Brown away from pennies because he's still a top 3 wide receiver in this league. He's a game changer for the Philadelphia Eagles, and that is again no hidden secret, right? But again, for Abdul Carter or a Mason Graham, I'd at least think about it. It's at least enough return for me to at least sit back and say, what do we think? Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going to say yes, but it has to be a substantial return. It has to be something that Howie can do something with, like he did with the Carson Wentz trade. Guys, Carson Wentz, I understand quarterbacks are valued a little bit more, but Carson Wentz or A.J. Brown? A.J. Brown's up here in value for where Carson Wentz was. I mean, the return that we should get on A.J. Brown would be ideal because Howie can pick. Howie knows how to draft. So again, as an Eagles fan, if I'm looking towards the future, now, this offense is wrapped in until 2030. So I'm in no rush. I'm in none. No, I think it's 2028 or 2030, one of the two. But either way, I'm in no rush, guys. This offense is locked in. But again, if something had to change, I'd think about it. Okay? Guys, that's going to be it for us tonight. And again, guys, go check out that YouTube. Go check out the YouTube, Sports Lounge Media. We're going to be live during the draft. Also, check out the experience. Check out the Marshall Experience on all platforms, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube as well. And, if you love the experience, come check us out. I appreciate everybody tuning in. And you guys have a good night. It's draft week. It is freaking draft week, and we could not be more excited. You guys have a good week. We are sponsored by Sports Lounge Media powered by Sports Lounge Media and sponsored by the